If you haven't been to the Smithsonian's Anacostia Community Museum, this is a great time to go. The museum launches a new exhibition tomorrow. It's called A Right to the City and looks at changes throughout several D.C. neighborhoods. Makia Turner has our preview.
It's a one-of-a-kind experience about D.C.'s history.
It's full of people's stories. It's full of artifacts and photographs.
The Smithsonian's Anacostia Community Museum's new exhibit, called A Right to the City, is something Chief Curator Dr. Samir McGelly says everyone can learn from.
People will see some of themselves and their neighborhoods and their communities reflected in this exhibition.
The display explores 6 D.C. neighborhoods, touching on times of triumph, tragedy, and transformation. Southwest, which was one of the first and largest urban renewal projects back in the 50s and 60s, marks the beginning of your journey through time. Southwest, a lot of rich history there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Southwest is a really important neighborhood in D.C. Federal funds redeveloped the neighborhood through large-scale demolition, which ended up displacing more than 20,000 residents and 1,500 businesses. So it totally transformed that neighborhood.
Artifacts bring Chinatown, which was originally located on Pennsylvania Avenue, to life, and photos that highlight protests against the construction of the North Central Freeway put the spotlight on Brooklyn. Then there's the history of activism throughout Shaw and Adams Morgan. Then Anacostia.
You hear about the story of a community that has been transformed again and again, first by segregation, then by desegregation.
We followed Anastasia Johnson, a guide here and lifetime D.C. resident who's seen the changes up close, development being one of them. She calls that a sign of progress, but the displacement of people in some areas is concerning.
I think the city has kind of gone in the other direction in terms of development, maybe overdevelopment.
And with rapid growth in population and the cost of living, these are just some of the changes people now are getting used to. Reporting from the district, Makia Turner, USA 9.
And while you're inside the museum, there's a payphone where you can hear the stories of D.C. locals and record your own. The exhibition opens to the public tomorrow. It'll be around until April of 2020.